Hello and welcome, my name is Sean from SkateHut, and today we're going to break down everything that you guys need to know about skateboard trucks. So the most important thing to consider when buying trucks is the width. Now, you have to make sure that the trucks fit the width of your deck suitably, otherwise you'll end up with a rock because they're too small, or it may affect your control, and you may, if you go way too wide, you may even hit the wheel with your shoe. It's quite important to have it as accurate as you can. Now, they will always be in either inches or millimeters. So an easy example, for an 8-inch board, it's going to be 139 millimeters wide or 5.25 inches wide. Now, most websites and skate shops will have a guide there, so you don't need to worry about remembering exactly how wide you need your trucks to fit your deck. You just need to make sure you pair those up when you buy your trucks. So the next thing you need to consider when choosing your trucks is going to be the height. Now, you can get low, mid and high. All of them will vary slightly within a range, so low tends to be between 50 and 53 mil, high and so forth. Now, each of these will affect how your board feels under your feet and how you control this. So higher trucks, you're going to have a much quicker response when turning because of the height, whereas lower trucks will feel a lot more stable and a lot lower to the ground. Again, this is where it leans towards what style of skateboarding you wish to try or carry on with, being high trucks often favouring more towards street because the response, and being taller, it's arguable you can get more pop when trying a trick, and low being a bit more stable, people tend to favour that towards ramp. All that being said, these are not written rules over how you favour them. It's best to try a bit of each and see what works for you and your way of skateboarding. The last bit to discuss on when choosing your trucks is going to be the composition. Now, you can normally find steel, aluminium by multiple companies, multiple styles. There is geometry involved. Right now, don't worry about it. You'll find on the listings and in person that they'll argue that it's this angle, that angle. Yes, it does make some difference, but until you're really far into skateboarding and you're experimenting with these, it's not something to worry about right now. But the composition possibly is. An example are these. Now, these are Maglite trucks by Tensor. Now, the mag implying they're made partially of magnesium. If you don't know much about metals or anything, magnesium is just very light. This does mean that as it stands, they are currently the lightest on the market. Obviously, pros and cons. They may be incredibly light, but they wear quicker than some of the alternatives, but again, something to consider. Now, moving to the opposite end of the spectrum, always pioneered by Indy, are heavy-duty street-style trucks, in the sense that your hanger is reinforced, making them some of the heavier on the market, although compensated on these with hollow axles. But again, as I say, all things to consider in terms of what you want to do in skateboarding. So taking that into consideration, if you want to do more rails, ledges, you want trucks more like these where they're more durable, more heavy duty. Whereas if you're like myself and you prefer flip tricks and more technical skateboarding, you'll lean towards lighter trucks using lighter compositions. So just to recap on what we've covered today, number one, always make sure the size of your trucks match the size of your deck. And then to consider is whether you want low, medium or high, and if you want to go for some particularly light or more durable trucks. But again, it's personal preference and what style of skateboarding you want to do. However, please don't forget to drop a comment, your thoughts, what you think, what you skate, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.